cause.
Troy, we'll start off the team showing its character again, that never say die attitude, and it's spearheaded by your leader again, Chris Kalanos, a goal and 2 assists, and he becomes the franchise leader in goals in a season. Just talk about his play tonight and to this point in this homestand.
Well, I thought we got good, obviously great leadership out of those guys. I think at critical moments, like that's where I thought they were exceptional. I thought they showed all their experiences. When I say that, I mean Kalanos and Walter, but when I say both of them, so that was good. Like, put those two together in OT, and obviously they have been together as a line all year. They haven't been together since now a couple of weeks. We've split them up, but we put them together at different times. So I was happy for Ben and Chris in that instance. With regards to just Chris Kalanos, I mean, for a guy that missed a significant portion of the year to go up and play in the National Hockey League and then coming back after not playing in a long time, 18 months or whatever it was, to set a franchise record for goals in a year and not really do it the whole year, like he's haven't played a full year with us. And I think it's an outstanding accomplishment and one that we're very proud of to be a part of. And Chris is the type of guy that would, thank his teammates. He hasn't done it by himself. Obviously, Ben's been right alongside him a lot of it, but real happy for Chris and for the franchise.
What would you say after 2 to the guys?
I didn't talk to him. Usually, Cale talks after the first period. Luke talks after the second. We talk as a group of coaches, and then usually they go in and funnel the message from the group. The message after the second was just we had felt at that point in the game like our star players hadn't been our star players. That was basically our message. So we got off to not a great start because our best players weren't our best players at that particular time in the game. We had a 5-on-4 and then a 5-on-3, and you don't have to score goals in order to be our best players, but you have to create momentum. And I didn't think they created much momentum for us in the first. And so we were a little bit direct with our best players after the second period.
You guys only gave up 1 penalty tonight. Was that one of the reasons you think you got the win tonight?
I think our discipline in the series has been outstanding, even though last night we took some penalties more than I'd like. But I think in general, just how we look at the game as a group of coaches and how we manage the hockey game, I would say that we had good discipline. It was the reason why I think we got our points this weekend at home. It's the thing that's been challenging this group of people all year. So I thought tonight it was a huge part of that win.
What's the loss for Alou going back up to the team? What's it mean to you?
Well, it's first of all, it's celebratory. It's very the whole group produced that. Here's a guy that really wasn't on a team come December. He was just sitting in Toronto, and he's managed to get 10 goals for us. And he's managed to make an impact on our teams physically and athletically, and certainly his speed. So I think first of all, it was a group celebration today. The loss, we don't have the quickness and we don't have the speed. Like, those are two things. And when Akeem when all things are lining themselves right, as he's learning to do as a young man, as he matures through this business, he's definitely shows all the signs you would say that this guy can play in the National Hockey League. But mostly all those factors are all physical, and they're all relative to how he plays the game. What will be his kicker will be is how does he manage it mentally. And that 3 inches above his forehead is what's going to either make or break that guy. So this is a great opportunity to see if he can kind of start to formulate how he thinks, how patient he is, and how he believes in himself during critical times. So this would be a great taste for him up there.
You think that's a short-term goal for him or a long-term goal?
To go up?
Yeah.
It's definitely a long-term goal. I think if you would have said, like, today, like, he had to pull the car over today when I told him, like, he was like, I got to pull the car over. First of all, I shouldn't be on the phone. Second of all, I'm about ready to have a heart attack here. And he was so excited, and he was out of it. He basically almost started crying. Like, and the very first thing he said was, this wouldn't happen without my teammates, which was really a good statement. So really an exciting time for Akeem, and we're happy, and we hope that he has either, whether it's 1 or 2 games, depends on what it is. Like, we hope the best for him.
Your thoughts on Punjabi Night hosted by the Abbotsford Beat? First off, the team should be congratulated on it.
Yeah, I just think it's a classy thing to do. I think it was the right thing to do. I think that hockey is reaching every level of our world right now, and to bring it all together here tonight, I think was outstanding. Our players talked about it in the room. It's pretty cool. Like we live in a very fast world, and it's time that we learn to embrace everything that's out there, and we learn to get educated about who we are and what we live with and around us. And I thought it's outstanding. And Manveer, who works for our organization, has become one of my close friends, and he's he's celebrated this for months. Like, he's so excited about tonight, and it's the first step. It's kind of like the dog thing or all the other things we have going. Like, it'll build and get better. But I thought our front office did an outstanding job, and I was glad that we did it.
The other absence tonight was Irving. Where are things out at this point?
I think Irvs is in the hospital right now. I believe he's at the hospital right now. Where that's at, I'm not really sure, but I think they're both there now. It's been kind of a long day. They were there early, like 4 again this morning. Then they were sent back home for a good part of the day, and I think they were managed back into the hospital sometime early this evening. And so, we're just kind of sit back hoping. And
Tough night of power play for you guys this evening. How do you? What do you need to see out of your
Good question. Ooh, that could change this whole interview real quick. I thought they were terrible. Like I said, I thought our best players weren't our best players at times. I thought our power play was terrible. Like, I don't have any other quote. Like, they're a good group of guys. I often sometimes will say that, but this is a result business, and they didn't produce any results, and they didn't really produce many results the night before neither, in my opinion. And I just find them without a purpose right now. I find them like 5 different guys on 5 different pages. And sometimes that's the way it goes. Like, I believe in them. I kept them together there, if you saw in the third, like, kind of, but I put 2D out there both times with them. Like, I had enough of the turnovers and I had enough of the 2-on-1s. Like, if you're going to show anybody, whether it's a fan, whether it's media, or whether it's yourself, or whether it's a coach, that you belong in the NHL, it's about managing your ice time and managing the puck. And if you can't do that in today's game, I don't care how many goals you score for our franchise, you're not going to play up there. And that's just the truth. That's the bare truth in this game. Like, the best players that move on from the American Hockey League know how to manage a puck and manage a hockey game. And I didn't like how we managed the puck at all there. And that was like, I have some conviction with this right now because I expect more out of that particular group. And we just didn't get their A effort tonight. And I didn't think we got our A effort from them the night before neither. So we got some work to do there right now. But it's American Hockey League. That's the ebb and flow. That's the way it is at this level. There's some nights you're like, we're all excited about them, and then some nights we're like, is that all you guys got? Like, it is what it is. They're good players, though. They'll bounce back.
4 games left, Troy. Hit the road for 2, the final 2 at home against Toronto. Any expectations put on the team? And if so, how heavy is it?
The expectations are that we continue to manage a good hockey game, and we basically have the same approach. I don't mean to be a broken record. Like, we go in every day wanting to finish 1-0. And, tomorrow we got to beat travel. Like, we got a long travel day. We're going to the airport right now in van, and we fly out at 6:15, and we got like a 4.5-hour layover in Chicago. Then we got to get in and get our rest a little bit before we play on Saturday. So the expectation of the next 4 games is that we continue to probably tinker with our lineup a little bit because we have a vet issue here. So we've got to look at our work-rest ratio relative to how we manage our life right now. And then we got to look at how we take our days off relative to travel, and that we keep the guys that are going for us on top of their game. Like, that's most important. Like, our guys need rest right now. This trip is a nice one to end the year with in some regards, but it's one of those ones like Cleveland. Like, Cleveland was the first trip of the year. Like, that's a tough place to get to. This one isn't easy neither. Like, I wish this wasn't now, but it is what it is. The original schedule was Friday, Saturday. They moved it back to Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. So worked itself out a little bit better for us. But we'll just take one day at a time. We get managed through a lot of guys here right now. So, but to really answer the question, are we going to change much, or are we going to do anything? No, we're going to just continue to manage this thing just the way we have, one day at a time, and we're going to go through the process of how we have to do things. And the most evident thing that we'll look at as a coaching staff is our rest. Okay, thank you.